ideal mentor gives like this like the space for vulnerability,
Mm-hmm.
but then also in the exact same time where you can be vulnerable, still have like that sense of like accountability on what like
Yeah.
you need to do and whatnot. But then also just like have like a safe space to have like any kind of conversation. But then also like I feel like a mentor kind of also has to be like a connection source, like a source of like connections and whatnot. Because I feel like the main thing.
Welcome back to another episode of Keepin It a Bean. Keepin It a Bean is a podcast where we connect conversation, community all over a cup of coffee or tea. This podcast, if you are new here, my name is Marquise Davon. Keys, don't ever call me Mark. This American Negro, that all works. But Mark, never. But if you aren't new here, welcome back to the show. It is good to see y'all. Today, I am so excited. This episode, I get to bring on my mentee. Yes. And so you'll be able to hear our conversation just around our relationship, how it built, what does it mean to be a mentor, what we have learned from each other, all of that good stuff. And we'll get to delve into that and we'll see where that conversation is going to take us. Before we do all of that, Suhayb, good brother, introduce yourself to the people.
All right, well, I gotta do the full name like you just did. All right, I'm gonna do the full name anyways. All right, my name is Suhayb Fahim Rice, but if you're Muslim, then it's Suhayb Ibn Fahim Rice. I'm from Philly. I'm 17. I'm a senior at Boys Latin High School.
Come on now.
And whatnot. Future endeavors, I want to major in engineering, more specifically mechanical engineering. But if I get into Penn State, then it will be aerospace because I kind of want to work for NASA and build stuff for NASA and whatnot. But at the exact same time, it's a lot of math, so you know. But I've always been really good at math.
Yeah.
So you know, that's a little bit into Suhayb. I mean, other things like fun things I do. Suhayb fixes a lot of old things like from consoles and whatnot. Like a couple months ago, I just like completely fixed and opened up and like put back together like my old Wii and whatnot and jailbroke it because I wasn't about to pay for games and I really didn't play a lot of games. There's like a lot of games I was like really wanted to play and I wanted to play. I cook. So until like really recently, I was a chef at my job for a nonprofit organization called Rebel Ventures. It's youth-led. So
come on now.
It's, you know, all the youth make most of the decisions, and we just have my supervisor. That name is Drew, that the supervisor over us and whatnot. And yeah, and I do all the regular other stuff that like a high school person would do, besides like, you know, reading and playing the game. You know.
Well, you know, just regular stuff.
You know, regular stuff.
And hold on. I got some good news that I heard from you today. Where'd you just get accepted?
I just got accepted into DSU. Yeah,
which is
an HBCU.
Oh, okay. Stop playing with him.
Yo,
why he struggled with that?
Because I was trying to make sure we was on the same wavelength on what we was about to say.
Yes,
I was trying.
It's an HBCU.
Yeah,
I let them know. All right, come on now.
I was trying to make sure.
Come on out.
Make sure. But yeah, just got accepted into my first college. It's the first on the list, not the last. It's the first on the list.
Yes, come on, the first of many.
Yes,
man, I'm proud of you though.
Thank you.
I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
Come on,
Thank you.
He's here.
Thank you.
But for everybody who already knows what the show is, what we like to start off with is the Keepin It a Bean section.
Okay.
This section is where you get to do whatever hot take you want. It could be personal, something in pop culture, something that's top of mind.
Okay.
What are you keeping it a bean about this week?
All right. This is the one that I've been like arguing with a couple people about. The best. This is a statement. The best pop album in history is Thriller. Yes. Like if I stand on that and I would die on that hill. The best pop album is.
What were people arguing?
Like Taylor Swift and stuff like that. Like
who argued that?
People on Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a war zone over there.
Oh, that's what y'all do in Gen Z.
But then also like a lot of people was like, oh no way, Thriller could be like the best. It's like it has to be better out there. I'm like, what? Like Thriller from start to finish is bangers, or like I either said you either know basically every song off of Thriller, or like you even heard of every song off of Thriller. Like, and it's like no skips from front to back. Like you might skip when you go back for the rewatch because like you want to get to like the really good songs, but then like what? Like Thriller is.
Are these like older people or are these people your age?
It's like around people my age, and then some older people.
This is interesting because like I was just having a conversation around like how like we're moving away from like the younger generations, what they believe is the best is very different from what we look at as the best. And so like even like a generational conversation of just like no one in my generation would argue that like Thriller is not a great pop album. Like would it even put it as like we would all put it as the best. Like we know what this thing is. So this is so interesting.
And then also like it still goes down in the history to be like the most sold album like ever in history. So it's like, how are you sitting here trying to argue this to me? Like it is the best. But
you're also kind of an old soul though too.
I am.
I don't think y'all understand.
I am.
Suhayb is an old man.
And it's going to really show with this next one. Out of like the three, like I think me and you was also having this argument last year and when I was in 11th grade. Out of like the three when it comes to like De La Soul, A Tribe Called Quest, and then also like Wu-Tang, what's the best? I was still had to die on the hill of A Tribe Called Quest.
You really were. Yes, you
I
were.
Had to die on the hill of A Tribe Called
You
Quest.
really are an old man.
But like if I had to rank them, hold up. If you would have asked me 10th grade year, I would say Wu-Tang, A Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, but now it's A Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul,
Wu-Tang.
It's no offense to Wu-Tang, but it's like Wu-Tang is just not my kind of rap anymore. And
yeah.
I'm gonna keep it a beam.
I see what you did there. Yo, you get on my nerves. Dog. Wow. Man, you're such a good human. I appreciate you so much. You are wonderful. Oh man.
That was like a shameless plug though.
It was. I see what you did there. I said, it's my son, y'all. That's my son.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. He got the recessive genes. It's okay.
Yo, it goes back into the other conversation that me and him was. I call him out of the blue, cuss him out because I'm like, yo, why is a bunch of people of your skin color, our skin color?
Don't say our. We're two different people.
True.
Look at this. I'm gonna zoom in. We are not the same.
Yeah.
And you have to just accept it. You have to accept that you are very light.
Yeah.
But you
I'm
get
not that light though. Yo, don't start.
Okay, so anyways, if I'm gonna keep it Yo, if I'm gonna keep it a bean, everybody need to watch the Vince Staples Show on Netflix.
Like the singer Vince Staples?
Yes. Did you not watch the show yet?
No. I saw it though. It's on like the watch leader list.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, hey, man, chill.
Yeah.
Chill, you gotta chill, man. I'm going back to like rewatch old shows, not really the new shows right now.
All right, well, if the Vince Staples Show is only 5 episodes, and the episodes are about 23 to 30 minutes apiece, you can watch it down in one sitting.
Oh, I didn't know it was only 5 episodes.
Yeah, me either, and I was disappointed that it was only 5 episodes.
Huh.
So I think everybody needs to go watch this show. If you are a fan of Atlanta, you will definitely be a fan of the Vince Staples Show. I think it is timely, but I think it also has like a very interesting way of how it depicts everyday violence and how we exist within it. But it also has its moments that are super funny. If y'all have watched the bank scene, that whole episode, top tier television.
That's what you was posting on your Instagram story today.
Oh my God, it was so funny. But like, it's also just like, this is super tragic. But it was like really dope commentary. So like, I highly encourage everybody to go watch that show. I might just do an episode where I deep dive into those 5 episodes because it was such an enjoyable watch. But definitely top tier show right now.
Okay.
So that's my hot take of the week.
Okay.
You ready for the full conversation now?
One more thing.
What's up?
It's back to the thing that I said earlier. I'm just saying this to all light skinned people. You do get the full month, bro. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise, bro. Because I like the light skin hate needs to stop.
Not please. You came on here with your light skin woes. Get off the show. Dang.
Yo, chill. Because like if I had to hear one more time that I only get half of my month, bro, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Well, if you get half of your month, you get half of your month.
Of course.
But he's not biracial.
No, I'm black.
He's not a biracial.
No, I'm strictly black.
It's okay. We understand. That's why you grew your hair out.
I just
stop. I told you I love this man. Are you done advocating for the light brights?
Yes.
Okay, proud of you. Not in the studio audience. We don't do that either.
Yes.
Put your hand down. Okay. Anyways, hit your high yellow ass. Sorry. Love you, Meech. I'll put a photo of him right here. No, so the conversation we're going to steep into today is just a conversation around mentorship. Mm-hmm. How we've kind of went through us two growing together, but also the things that we've learned about each other, the things that we've pushed each other on, and really how to like navigate that space. And so I was super excited just to like delve into this conversation with you. Yeah. Just because I know there are so many people that I'm like really big on like, yo, I think we should all be mentors. If there's something that we can do to give back to community and give back to youth, we might not have to be a formal classroom teacher or work within a school. But I do think like mentorship is a wonderful opportunity, one for young people to have some sort of guidance. Yeah. But then also as older people to stay tapped into like your needs and like what is going on within your generation because we 11 years apart? You 17?
Yeah, I'm 17.
Yeah. 11 years apart. Yeah. Both Virgos though. Okay,
yes,
top
yes,
tier. Okay,
yes,
top tier. Stop playing with us. Okay. So I am super thrilled.
Yo. That just happened. I'm sorry, my fault.
Why would he make so much noise in the background?
Let's lock back in.
That studio audience was crazy.
All right, my fault.
All right, and we're back. But I definitely want to get into the conversation of mentorship with you, and so let's take it back. I want to hear from your perspective. When I first entered BL, how did we start? How did you meet me?
Okay, so I was just having. This is funny because I was just having a conversation with Beach about this.
Yeah.
When you stepped out, but how I first met you was through my two good friends, Fayad and Kai.
Yeah.
Right. So we, at Boys Land, if you didn't know, we have LA. So it's basically like how I describe it, mandatory clubs that gives you credits and whatnot. So we usually did culinary club year round, but I remember I think it was like comic book club or like it was something like TV watching club, and Fayad and Kai used to like go after school and just like spend time in his room, and I'm like, yo, like I'm ready to go home. Where's these N-words at? Let's go. So when I went down there one day, he was like, yeah, bro, it's been this really cool teacher. His name is Mr. Richards, and we be watching Young Justice. I'm like, he watched Young Justice? I remember I went in there one day, and then I got introduced, and we busted up, and then we would be talking about Young Justice and whatnot. But past that we had like passerby conversations, but I really felt like when we really connected was 11th grade year when I was the best, most unofficial TA. So my two good friends, Fayad and Kai, were his actual teacher assistants.
Yeah.
And because I was really close, and I was really close to my friends and also Richards, I used to spend a lot of time in there in like free periods and also like kind of skipping, but we're not gonna talk about that.
We're not gonna talk about that piece.
Anyways.
Okay.
But like I used to spend a lot of time with him in his room, and then I feel like that's when we really grew and used to have like a lot more deep conversations, because that's when we started to get to know each other more on like music and then other like life aspects and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So I feel like a lot of like the main things I kind of learned and still take away and use in my day-to-day is like, and I appreciate from you, is like your emotional intelligence, right? So I really feel like if I can describe use one word to describe you, I would use like emotional intelligence, because it's like,
you're gonna hyphenate that word because this is definitely two.
Yeah, emotional 2 word emotional intelligence.
One phrase, 2 words.
2 words. Emotional intelligence. Like I learned a lot about like how to process my emotions, take it in, and then also just like how to like react to certain emotions, and when you feel as like a certain way, and then also just like him always having like the safe space to like give to the kids that even that he didn't like have that big of a connection to was like still like crazy. Like I never had that before, and like some of like the deepest talks that actually made like a lot of progress when it comes to like my mental came from my mentor / dad that is Mr. Richards and whatnot. So that's how I really met you, and a little bit of personal statements,
and we're all in
between
between and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was sweet because I remember, one, I appreciate you. I'm glad I could create that space for you. You're freaking wonderful. Oh, freaking nerd. No, because I remember I was never officially your teacher.
Yes, never. He never taught me not one
never
thing.
Taught this man.
Never taught me not one thing.
Well, I taught him something, but he wasn't my official student.
Like,
you know what I mean?
He never gave me that letter grade. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but you passing in life. Okay?
Yes, I am.
It's an A in life.
I got an A in life though.
Okay, you're welcome. Nah, and it was like so funny because I was thinking about it of just like always like when you're a new teacher into a space, especially because I came mid-year. So I came in the middle of March. And I remember sitting in the room and I forget how, because Fayed was my only actual student.
Yes, I remember that. Yes, I remember
and
that.
then y'all would come in through 5th period and then it was you and Kai who would just come in here and you're just like, I just want to be in here to learn. I like how you teach.
Yeah.
And I was like, who are these kids and why do they keep entering this room? And I didn't know anything any better because like I'm still new. I'm going through attendance. I'm like, there are 2 extra bodies in this classroom that are not supposed to be.
Chill. Now you've been to my business out here. What my mom watching is talking about, oh, you skipping? Oh,
he was. I think it might have been his lunch period, so I'm gonna say that.
Just a little bit.
But no, I remember sitting there, but I had shared a room with another teacher.
Yes.
And I remember sitting during like my lunch period and I would watch Young Justice.
Yes.
And then that's when like I noticed there was like a certain group of kids that just kept coming in.
Yes.
more and more. At first I was like, it's all the choir kids. Like, why are these choir kids in this room?
Yes.
But then it started like shift a little bit. And so I just got the 3 of y'all. Yeah. And then after that short, 3 months of us like building out a small relationship, that next year came in and that's really when it all solidified because I was just like, nah, I need these as my TA, these 2 as my TAs. You just naturally came as a package deal.
Yes.
But then also on top of that, you also displayed an untapped potential that I don't even think you realized when we were in conversation. So to me, I was always just like, yo, Suhayb is brilliant. Yes. I don't think you realize how brilliant you were.
Stop it.
You are.
Stop it.
No, seriously though. And it was really dope because I was just like, this is a really... Like when you see the potential and you're just like, as long as you are steered in the right direction, you'll know what to do, right? And something that I believe to be true is like, there were stumbles and fumbles here as you were growing and developing, but you managed to always find your way back in some way, shape, or form, which was like super cool to witness. And so I don't remember the day me and you declared each other as like, that's my son, that's my dad, this is my mentee, this is my mentor. But I remember it was just like a very natural progression of just how our relationship was forming and evolving in terms of like because I was not your direct teacher, we got to bond in a different capacity because you weren't I wasn't grading you. And so it allowed us to have a little bit more of an informal connection. And then we just kind of began to have more conversation and just opening up that space for us to just grow and develop together too, while still maintaining like a really good relationship within the school. So
100%.
Yeah. Something I've been thinking about too is like, can you define what a mentor is?
Dang, that's kind of a hard question.
Yeah.
All right. From like personal experience on like, or I feel like I'm answering this better on what like an ideal mentor looks like to me, right? I feel like an ideal mentor gives like this like the space for vulnerability, but then also in the exact same time where you can be vulnerable, still have like that sense of like accountability on what like you need to do and whatnot, but then also just like have like a safe space to have like any kind of conversation, but then also like I feel like a mentor kind of also has to be like a connection source, like a source of like connections and whatnot, because I feel like the main thing that you should really be benefiting with a mentor is for like socially, so like when it comes to like conversations or whatnot, and like being able to improve on like that socially, but then also just like I guess you could say like, and like it's kind of like work wise, because I feel like the main thing that like your mentor should be able to be is like, be a person to help you in that, but then also like steer you in the right direction towards like your future, right? Because I feel like you that's why I really feel like you encapsulate like both parts pretty well. So that's why I like to consider you to be like my mentor, because like you show up for me like socially, but then also it's like if I really need to, like I have like a lot of connections, because you do your thing and whatnot, and you're able to like like you lived your life, you made your connections on the way, so it's like now I can go back into like
I'm still living my life. Don't make it sound like I'm on the other side.
I mean my fault,
Dang,
but it's like
so bad.
you lived a good amount of life compared to me, and you on that way and on that journey you build up a certain level of connection, so it's like now you're able to give back to like the youth and socially, and then also just like for like their future, and just like flesh out like connections and whatnot.
Because what I'm also hearing is like a level of investment too, honestly. And it's interesting, like even for me when I think about mentorship, sometimes I think a lot of people look at mentorship and see it as like, all right, because I am your mentor, I know all, and so I'm giving all to you. But in reality, like for me, what I learned mentorship is it's a reciprocal kind of situation too, because just as much as you're learning from me, I'm also able to like learn from you at the same time. And so
that reminds me of remember the conversation that we had, I think it was a couple months ago, when you was talking about like your other mentors and whatnot, and then you was also talking about like how like the state of your life was, right? And I was like, I gave you the example of Buddha. Remember when we were sitting down? I gave you the example of Buddha.
That was a good one. Go ahead.
So
tell the people.
So for me, I do a lot of research and a lot of things that I like really want to know about when it comes to like reading, and like also like online, and then also like books and whatnot. So I remember Richards was talking about like he was going through a lot in life, and also like his mentors have come through all parts of life, and I was like, it kind of reminds me of like some of the story of Buddha. Now I haven't read it in a long time, so I might be messing up on some pieces.
Solid paraphrase.
But like, Buddha went through like these certain stages of life, and then took pieces from it to actually become like his one true self. So I was explaining that I felt as though that for every mentor or mentee that you had, you took a part that like helped you heal something from your past to now make you the better person that you are nowadays, right?
Oh, that's right, because it went from Tafiq to Mayer to Tafiq, Mayer, you, Robert. Makai's also in there, so I kind of put you in you and Makai like all here in the same era of spaces, and Nasir. And so it was like interesting because I was just like, the four of you were all able to teach me something new. Tafiq is definitely like my OG, but he was my most hard-headed of my children. I'm gonna be honest, me and him did not like each other. You'll see Tafiq on the show at some point in time in the near future. But each of my mentees, they have taught me something different around how I'm showing up as a person, but also how I can be better. And so each of you, Tafiq taught me patience, definitely. Nasir just lives with the audacity. That's my sassiest son. Mayer, that is definitely like, he's the one out of everybody. You and Mayer are probably the ones who I interact with the most. So I won't call you the most needy, but I do the most amount of check-ins with you both.
But I feel like also the main reason I do a lot of check-ins with you is because the main thing that you taught me last year is that like no matter what relationship it is, like a relationship also is like you have to like commit time to a relationship.
Yes.
Like even if it's like a friend, like you still have to like commit time to a relationship, because it's in the word, like it's a relationship. No matter if it's like a partner relationship or like just like a friend relationship. Like if you don't interact a certain amount of times, and the relationship can have like a strain.
You don't really be listening.
I do. I value our conversations. Like, a lot.
But that's what I was gonna say. Like something that you were able to teach me is, even though like, and I think I just said, even talking to you around like what my week looks like. This rest of this week between traveling, events, doing all these things. It's also reminding me, like something you continuously remind me of, there is time to pause and make sure that you check in with the people you need to. And so one thing about Suhayb, he gonna let me know right away. Rich, I ain't hear from you in about a week or two.
And he get that call. He get that call.
So you don't know how to text? You don't know how to check in? I can't get a good morning. I gotta reach out to you first.
Because that's what he used to do to me. That's what he used to do to me. Yo, I would go like half of the day without speaking to him, and he's like, "Oh, so what, we beefing or something?" Or the line that him and my really good friend Kamar used to say, "What? Why you acting like we slept last night? Like, now you don't want to talk to me or something?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, bro, I was just having like a little rough morning and whatnot." But then it's also like just having like that space to just like have like a morning check-in sometimes. Like that goes like a long way. Like excuse my French, like niggas be having rough mornings sometimes, bro. Niggas be having rough mornings.
And we do. And so, but those are the things that I have learned to value so much. Is just like those morning check-ins have meant so much to me, because it also, when those times of me getting busy in life and you calling is also like a really good reminder of just like ground yourself and stay present, Marquise. Like life is happening for everybody. Just remember to remind yourself to take time. So if there's something I really was able to learn from you, and it's a good reminder, is always to like ensure like just to ground myself again and remember to check in with your peoples as well. So you are always like a really good reminder of that. And also just like seeing how you have been navigating life.
Yo,
this child is chaotic.
Yo, it's always something happening, but like, yo, I be confused on how I be getting through it though. Like honestly, it don't even be like my life not like crazy like drama wise, but it just be like a lot of happening because I'm in a lot of, because of like how my personality is and like how I am. I'm just in a lot of like spaces doing like a lot of things, and like the main thing I learned from, the biggest lesson I learned from Richards is last year is, Suhayb, you be doing a lot. Sometimes you just gotta say no. Just say no.
I was speaking to him and myself. I'm gonna be very honest about that.
Just sometimes just say no, because like last year I did a lot of things and I were cool with it, but like I would get like completely overloaded because like I'm low key a people pleaser. And I like you know it is what it is. But it's like I sometimes I really struggle to say no for people, and I would rather put people's like stuff over mine. But then it's also like what makes it like a lot worse, because people have like this certain level of standard for me, right, just from like how I carry myself and whatnot. So it's like then it'd be like a lot of situations where like a lot of people be asking me for stuff, and it's like I'd be struggling to say no, because he
too is scared to disappoint people.
I'm very disappointed.
Okay.
I'm very scared,
yes,
very scared.
Because it's funny because I said, oh my gosh, you're really a young Marquise. Like, it don't make no sense at all.
It's surprising on like amount of things that I just like I'll be like I look at the schedule, I'm like F it, we ball. We just go. We ride at dawn. We figure it out. Because a fun story is that like I did the play at my school last year, and I kind of wanted to do it, but at the exact same time I kind of did it because around the time I was starting my first job ever, right? And then it got to a situation where it was like I'm gonna keep it a beam. Before like the day of the play, the only thing I knew was my one monologue, and it was a comedy. So it was like 10 different. I was a part of like 10 different plays, and I had like kind of long parts of like a lot of them. Yo, that day of, I remember it to this day, and I told my acting teacher today. Like when I did the other play,
Thoughts of a Colored Man.
Yes, that's a really good one.
Yeah,
I played depression. I'm not depressed.
But he played the role very well.
Yes. But. No, I remember that day because I came into school that day. The only thing I knew was my one monologue. I came in there. I spent the whole day in Richard's room. I didn't leave. I went to all my classes, got all my work, sat the work to the side, and then for the rest of the day, I sat there and just looked at the script for the whole day, and I memorized the whole script. But it's like, really did. Yo, I didn't move. I didn't let nobody. Everybody was trying to talk to me like, "Oh, you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay."
Because you were sitting in my desk the whole day.
I was desk whole day.
Yeah.
And so like all the way until like the show came on, and I knew like every part.
Yeah. That was so funny. I do remember that day. This is why they was cussing me out at work. Okay, I might have been like having a couple refugees in my room occasionally. No, it's fine. But it was all for a good cause.
It was all for a good cause because at the end of the day, like I knew I was a part of 10 plays, and I only knew one going in, and then like through the rest, like through that whole day, I was able to memorize all of it. Yeah, and all of it came down to like me just not wanting to say no to a person and just back out early on. So I kind of just had to like figure it out. And I feel like the main thing that I like that Richard's been able to nurture a lot of me is like working well underneath pressure. Like I learned a lot from just seeing you and how you like sometimes when you like, definitely when it comes to like editing podcasts and like in the morning you still got to set up like your morning routine, classes, this that and the third, and just working underneath pressure and then still being able to like function.
Yeah.
Like that's like the main thing I learned, and then been helping me in like a lot when it came to like academically and then also just like socially and like work.
I'm glad I was able to show that, because let me tell you, I be suffering sometimes. I be looking, I be like, I don't think y'all understand being a teacher, and mind you, it's an all boys school, so it's like think around like a locker room, but like all over the school.
No,
you feel
lie,
me? It's
what? it's like the most like it's like 24/7 kind of like masculine energy, like 24/7, bro. Until you get like the gay people that like break it up.
It's all the gay students.
It's all the gay students.
All right, relax it down. No.
Oh.
I was talking about the gay students. Be like, all right, calm it down. Too much mucho macho energy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, yo, that's also a really good point. Is that like I felt like I really appreciate the kind of person that Riches is. That is like, a young, intelligent, black, gay man, right? I feel like I wouldn't want if I think I had this conversation with you at the end of the year. I feel like if I had the chance to have you, but if a straight man, I kind of wouldn't have preferred you over anybody else because like I never was Suhayb was never homophobic, but I'm gonna say it like this: you know the type, It's like the low key homophobic. We'd be like, oh yeah, I'm cool with gay people just as long as they keep the gay stuff over there.
Keep it over there though.
That's how I kind of was until like I got into high school and I was around and being around like a lot of like teachers that are like gay, and then like seeing like the gay experience and then like what gay people have to go through, and then like seeing and seeing them and being able to like kind of more humanize it, because I feel like the culture that's surrounded and like the kind of like the hood is like there's like real homophobic, but it's mostly for the dudes and not for the women though.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a different experience.
Like it's mostly for the dudes but not for the women. Not to discount anybody's struggle or anything.
Yeah.
But it's like like men have a harder time being gay in the hood than like
because you got to keep up with the masculinity, you got to keep up with the performance, you got to do all this other stuff. And so to me, I think that was also like an interesting experience because to this day, you remember how I told you about that little DL Straight comment? Yeah, it wasn't him who said it, but I've gotten that a lot. And so like so many people are just like, wait, are you sure? Are you there? So it became like people were just running around, did you know?
Yo, it was when people found out, they're like, Richard is gay?
They ran out the room.
Richard is gay?
It was an event.
Like, oh my gosh, you telling me Richard is gay? I thought he was. I'm like, yeah, man, my mentor, yeah, he gay, yeah. And what? Like, what you got a problem with it? You not cool with him anymore with it? Like, nah, like I didn't know. And it's like, it was kind of crazy because like some of like even like the most hood dudes were like, oh, it kind of blew their mind because it's like they have like such as like this negative connotation over like gay people, and it's like now it's like you telling me I had this person that I didn't even know was gay and it was like really cool, and now.
But let's also be very clear. I reminded them regularly. They would just forget regularly. That was the issue.
It was never like not like common knowledge. If you asked the question, he was going to tell you, but it was like
Yeah, if you know, you know.
Yeah,
but like I've let them know multiple times.
But I really appreciate having like a gay mentor and whatnot, because I've been able to take back and adjust my opinions and whatnot, and now I'm like a big advocate on like I don't play that homophobic stuff like
we don't do that over here. We don't do that over here. Stop playing with him.
Stop playing with him. Yo, them hood dudes, I'll be quick to correct you if you start dropping that F-bomb, bro. I don't play none of that, bro. I don't play none of that, bro. I don't play none of that. I'm like you said what? I'm like you said what? And they're like, what, bro? What are you talking about? I'm like, do you not know why you can't say that word? Period. Or it's also even like I can always get like the female version, so it's like and then
yes.
Like, I always gotta like correct people on that one too. Like sometimes I even forget which one is which, so that's why I didn't say like that.
No, I get it. I appreciate you. See, see, it's that simple, y'all. That's that simple.
Like, it's like, but yeah. So I just wanted to say I really appreciate having you as like a gay mentor.
Yeah, man, we out here. No, and it was actually cool. Like as I look through that process and as I think around, I think I was just having me and Elijah were just having this conversation earlier around how people need to. There's like a unusual allegiance to masculinity, and people just need to be rather than like feel the need to keep up with like a particular image. Just because like if you're coming in as who you are authentically, like if you have a good character and a good person, that's what everything else about you becomes an afterthought. Like yes, still make sure that you're able to show up and be intentional around like how you are, but also recognizing like, no, do you have good character?
Yeah.
Do I appreciate you for who you are? And then does everything else actually matter, or does your sexuality actually play a part in this? And so in reality, I've realized like how many students like wrestled with this idea of what queerness could look like in the space, right? Especially if you think around like the three the big three in the school.
Yeah.
It's like a gradient of like expressions.
It's like yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So it was like super femme, butch queen, masculine.
Yeah.
Kind of like in the middle. And so it's like really dope to see students interact with that, especially at an all boys school, to really see what this thing could look like. And so yeah, man, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
It's cool to like hear your perspective on how you were able to like one, navigate both of us, but then also be able to like shift your own ideas as well. I think I saw an audience raise their hand. Oh, or did you go like this? Oh, energy. Okay, I wasn't sure. I said, let me just make sure. So thanks for sharing that. But as we start to round out the rest of this conversation and finish up, one thing I've been thinking around is like as we like built up our relationship, the mentor and mentee kind of space like that, and you kind of already started talking around just like what you have learned and you were able to take away. But what is something that have you thought around taking a mentee at this point in time? And then if so, what does that look like?
So this kind of leads into like perfectly or what I was trying to think about, like trying to segue into like the conversation. But
you want to be a podcaster so bad, yo.
Bro, I get it. Well, I get it from him, bro. I get it from him. But no, I'm trying to think. So last year, I really wanted to be student government president. So in 10th grade, I was student government president, right? But I wanted to, it was supposed to be like a re-election, a big thing. So like the main question is like, what did you want to like implement and change into the school? And the main thing I brought up, and I got it mostly from you, was like I wanted to build like an actual mentorship like program in our school, because like they always say like the big thing that they always push is like brotherhood, like brotherhood this, brotherhood that, be your own brother's keeper, and all brotherhood. But it's like I feel like sometimes we say it but we don't really act on it that much. So I was like, if we have like an actual established mentor system, like it would actually be like beautiful. Like so like the workshop idea when I had it in the past was like when a 9th grader first comes in, you have the 12th grader, like a 12th grader in like, in like the first couple of weeks, you could either go from like application, or it's just like, it's like a senior task that you had to have like at least one or two mentors, and then it would be like a weekly check-in or like a daily check-in, whatever like works for y'all. Yeah. But to build up that rapport so you can actually like give back to like your community and whatnot, to give out like free games to the young boys. And it could even like, and I feel like the main thing I really wanted to push for like the system was to be like really diverse level like of like kind of mentors, like from like different backgrounds. Yeah. Right. Because like me and you came from like somewhat similar backgrounds, but at the exact same time it was still like different from like, like once again, like you being gay and I'm being straight and like, all the other stuff. So I was like, if we make this system like where like, let's say if it's like a hood, it's a
very different experience.
Like a hood dude is like interacting with like two like we get the stereotypical like a nerd. Yeah. Right. They can still give them like different perspectives, and both can give different perspectives on life, and they can both grow as people. Yeah. Right. Or we could put it in like in reverse, like a nerd that would be kind of like me, and I'm like mentoring over like more like kind of hood established kids. Yeah. And give them like free games, and it's also like I can give you that level of like how to tackle your feelings or whatnot. Yeah. Because I'm like a lot of people, like a lot of the semi-hood kids just be like, they be having some bottle of emotions that they just don't want to address.
They just don't know how to, or sometimes they need permission.
They
to
really
do so.
live by that thug it out mentality, bro. And it's like sometimes you just can't thug it out, bro.
Not at all. Sometimes you need to let it out. Just cry. What Shrek say? Better out than in.
Yeah, but like I feel like when it comes to me, I'm kind of really meticulous when it comes to like certain things like that. Like I technically have two mentees that I was given to at like the start of my 11th grade year, and they still checking in, whatnot. But like the main thing I was having like a conversation with Fletcher was about is that he was like, Suhayb, like you're just like amazing. Like could you teach a kid how to be like, how to show up like you and be like you? But it's like I feel like I've been having a real hard time trying to find a kid that like can kind of like take on a certain level of like tasks that I do, just like out of like someone like the kindness of my heart. Because it's not like, I feel like it's not like I can't mentor anybody or be there and be a good mentor for anybody, but I feel like I'm getting like kind of like wrapped up in like finding like that one.
Yeah.
Like I really want, like I was like, I want to find a Suhayb that for like I want to find a Suhayb like Suhayb like Richard found me.
Yeah.
You know, like and have like that really good mentor. But I really do want, you know, like a mentee and whatnot.
Yeah. No, and you're gonna take time to find it, and it's really just like a very unexpected connection that just kind of happens. And so, one, keep doing the work, keep doing what you're doing, because you are on such an awesome path. Yeah. Again, I'm just proud of you and the person that you are becoming.
Thank you.
Because I remember meeting you. What is that? Is it?
We met 10th grade, and we became really close 11th grade. And now we're in my 12th grade.
Yeah. Oh, golly. Yeah. It's been a long time.
Yes.
But you were able to teach me so much, and so I thank you for that. Because it's just like super important. So thank you for keeping me grounded. Thank you for letting me be your mentor. Yeah. Thank you for just being an awesome mentee.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't. I'm so excited to see where you go. And also, congratulations again on your college acceptance.
Thank
yeah,
you.
okay,
Thank you.
DSU. Stop playing
DSU.
with him. Stop
Thank
playing
you.
with him.
Thank you.
And that's just the first of many.
Yes.
And so,
wiping the eyes.
Right, wiping the eyes. So again, I appreciate you. I love you. I'm proud of you. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. I said this is, it was a long time coming. You like, so Richard, when we on again?
Yo, I was just having this conversation. This is supposed to be my birthday gift. My birthday was in September. My birthday was September 7th, bro. This is supposed to be my birthday gift. We're in a whole new year, gang. I would call everyone. I'd be like, yeah, you know,
we're gonna do this podcast thing.
Then we're gonna do this podcast thing. I kind of really want to be on the podcast. And you're like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna try to fit you in. I'm trying to fit you in. He was like, and I remember I called him February, and I was like, yo, don't forget about that podcast. And he was like, you know what? He was like, I got you. And then he was like, I called him later this month, and I was like, yeah, I was like last week, and I was like, yeah, what's up with like the podcast? And he was like, actually, what about Monday? This time? I'm like, I'll be there.
Ain't nothing but a word.
You didn't say nothing but a word. I was here I got here. You said show up at like 6:45. I was here at like 6:28.
Yeah, you were. Because guess what? On time is late. Late is fired.
That's
on time.
That's the lifestyle I live by. Yo, he taught me that well, bro.
Yeah, come on, stop playing with him. Let the people know where they can find you if you would like to share.
So you can find me at Okami _Hayb. So OKAMI _HAYB.
Boom.
Okami Hayb. So actually, I'm supposed to be starting to stream pretty soon. You know. So I'm gonna give y'all the business pitch right here. Bam, peep it. Right. So I wanted to What you laughing about?
Cause all right, bam, peep it,
peep
go.
It. No, peep it. So I wanted to invite have friends and whatnot, friends, and then also people that are connected with, and then cook with them.
Yeah.
Cause I felt through a lot of parts of my life, even though I don't want to be a chef, a lot of parts of my life, you can learn a lot of people do just cooking, and then different backgrounds with cooking. My best memories with my dad and cooking comes from when I used to spend my weekends with him, and he just teaching me how to cook. So I wanted to invite certain people on. We cook food. I ask trivia, get to know you better, get to know the audience better, and build a rapport and whatnot. And then eventually possibly work up to have a lot more famous people like this guy right here.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna be famous too. So stop playing with him. Okay,
I hope
he will. Not hope. It's
I
gonna
hope
happen.
So.
Yeah, it runs in the line. It runs in the line. We just destined for fame.
But you can find me at Okami _Hayb. Again, OKAMI _HAYB.
Okay.
No, it's only the cap on the O.
I'm just waiting when you become a sous chef because it's Suhayb, and so you're gonna bring all your sous chefs. Get it?
No, that's kind of fire. Hold up. That's kind of fire. Was that a hand raise?
No, that was
my fault.
Yes, he agrees. So, anyways, thank you for coming on.
No,
thank
y'all
for
having me.
Man, that was a word. I know it took a long time, but we made it. Okay, now it can be more frequent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nerd. Anyways, my name is Marquise Davon across all social media. Please, thank you for coming in for another episode of Keepin It a Bean with Keith, Suhayb. Thank you. I love you and I appreciate you. Y'all, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, a rate and review on any platform that you listen to podcasts. Make sure that you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Do not be a hater. Give me 5 stars, please, and thank you.
And,
other than that,
and the last thing that he always used to tell me, have a good day on purpose.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, you did that.
Yeah, yo, he be like, have a good day on purpose.
He said, did you hear me?